Heyo, it's Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. It's Brendon Burchard, founder of Growth Day. Happy Saturday, Striver. Today I'm talking about realistic goals. Brendon, I struggle to set realistic goals. I seem to miss them all the time, or maybe I'm too optimistic. I feel doubtful or discouraged. Gosh, I had all these goals at the beginning of the year. Now I feel like a hot mess. I had this clear line of sight, but I wandered off into the wilderness. Brendon, help me. Okay, people, let's talk about realistic goals. First, you're not in the home of realistic goals. Welcome to Growth Day. Every day is a great day to grow, and sometimes we don't exactly know what real is. Think about where you're at in your life. Were there realistic expectations that you would be there? So far, some of the highest paid psychologists in the history of the world, some of the biggest studies of humankind that ever have been done, could not have predicted where we are today. We could not have predicted the advancements of AI and robotics at the level we have today. We could not have predicted the ability to go to Mars. We could not have predicted the ability to do so much that we do in chemistry, in biology, in healthcare services, in our ability to create agricultural abundance, in the remarkable success of growing worldwide access to better education and health in seconds, in the milliseconds it takes you to scroll through all those things you scroll through. Please. No one realistically could have fathomed where we are at today. So let's just start with that. What is the idea of setting realistic goals anyway? And let me ask you a bigger question. Have you ever read any biography? I mean, do you geek out on reading great stories and histories of the leaders of history? You know, when you go back and you read incredible people like Leonardo da Vinci, or you go read about some great artist, some great leader, some great philosopher, some great conqueror, some great builder, some great innovator. I didn't read anything about Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. I didn't read anything about the founders of our country. I didn't read anything about the revolutionists, men and women from around the world who said, you know what we did is we got together and we decided to set some realistic goals. Yeah, I can't find it. Never read it. I've never read any place where any great story of any great, amazing accomplishment where a group of people got together and said, we're going to set some realistic goals. Are you ready? Okay? No, hey, dream. Write it down on a piece of paper. Dream. Have vision. See out into the future. Imagine something that is better than today. You know what the great teachers of all time always teach about? Imagination, innovation, seeing new things, imagining a better future for you and your family, thinking about some dream vacations. Hey, maybe they're not realistic right now. That's okay. If all you do is set realistic goals, guess what? Each day, you'll only do the bare minimum to get the real result. And I found that to be true so many times. You know, there's a reason there's cliches like, hey, if you want to, go to the moon, aim for the stars. It's actually backwards, by the way. Let's not get into a whole conversation about how space works. But I mean, if you want to reach amazing things, aim higher. And then guess what? Performance, challenges, the world. You might not hit that exact high target, but you'll certainly hit higher than if you just aimed for realistic. Because you know what realistic is in most cultures? Do you know what realistic is in your family? Do you know what realistic is when you're around a mundane peer set? You know what you're going to face? Realistic is the norms. That's what it is. For most people, when they say realistic, you know what they're really thinking? Normal, average, achievable by the average. I don't want achievable by the average. I spent enough of my life being average. How about you, babe? Hey, can we talk about it? It's Saturday. We want some fire in this weekend. This is daily fire, not daily realism. It's the fire. It's the push. It's the challenge. It's the ambition. It's the dream. It's okay for you to imagine. People say, well, Brendon, you're just selling hype and hope. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I hope somebody is doing it because everybody else is selling Don't do anything with your life but scroll through TikTok. I'm trying to say you can build something. I'm trying to say you can innovate. I'm trying to say you can be the person from multiple generations that impact multiple generations moving forward. You can be the one, as Ed Milet always says. You can be that turning point. You can be that shift. You can be that critical person in your genealogy, in your family, who shapes the future because of your dreaming beyond the average. You're dreaming beyond the mundane. You're dreaming beyond what everybody else says is real. Nobody, not one person in my entire career said what I'm doing today was realistic. Could you imagine going back? Hey, look at this goofy kid over here. He kind of has a big colic on the side of his head because he got whacked hard and had a brain injury. So his hair doesn't grow in right. His eyes cross too often. He's got that funny tooth. He can't dance with crap. He's going to try. He's a little too skinny. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put that kid up on stage in front of 30,000 people in arenas all year long. Yeah, we're going to make sure he gets 1 billion video views. Super real. Totally real. We're going to give him 5 million fans on Facebook. Totally realistic. Nobody said any of that. Stop worrying about being realistic. Start dreaming. Have vision again. You, your family, your future deserves it. Your future you, 30 years ago, if we could pilot that guy or gal in and sit them right next to you, do you think they're going to whisper in your ear? What I need you to do is be super realistic. Your future you is not begging you to be average and realistic. I know the reason people want you to set realistic goals, they don't think you can handle discouragement. Do you know why they want you to set realistic goals? They don't want you to get your hopes up. You might doubt yourself. You might feel bad that you didn't achieve something. Guess what? Welcome to maturity. It's okay to feel bad that we didn't achieve something. It's better that we went for it. If we didn't stretch beyond our capabilities and competencies, where would we be? Where would we be? What do you think about it? Nothing I've experienced in my career was realistic. And some people say, well, Brennan, yeah, but that's the thing, you're the outlier. It's not fair. I'm like, yeah, be the outlier. Be the outlier. I don't want you to achieve a realistic life. I want you to achieve an extraordinary life. Be the outlier. Stretch yourself. See beyond. Go the extra mile. Those things are cliche. Why? Because people recognize the truth in them. Usually things don't become cliche until it's such an obvious truth. You smack your palm to your head and go, oh yeah, it's time to dream again, babe. So how can we land this plane? Because, oh my gosh, you can't just leave us there out in the hinterland of ambition, Brendan. Help us. Okay, let's punch it down. Here's, instead of worrying about realistic goals, number one, dream. Use your imagination to think of new things. Use your imagination. Lay in bed, thinking, dreaming, thinking, dreaming, thinking, dreaming. Look into the future. How can things be different? What do you really dream of? What do you really want? Yeah, maybe a realistic goal. What's my realistic goal? Well, I guess I can, drive across town and pull up to the KOA campground and make a grilled cheese. That was a realistic goal in my life one time. Then I said, you know what, though? I'd sure love to go to one of those fancy resorts one time and sit on the beach and have one of those fancy pina coladas and, put my feet in the ocean and dream and write there. That wasn't realistic, but it's happened. Dream. Second idea is don't worry so much about realistic goals. I often tell people, don't get over obsessed about goals, but rather make first the decision to double down on a passion or a process. What's the passion or the process you're going to double down on? You're going to give more time, awareness, focus to something. Get your head out of the goal at first and say, what's a thing right now I can double down on? Trust me, a lot of goals take care of themselves if you'll double down on the passion or the process. For me, as a coach, as a certified high performance coach, I said, I'm going to drill down into this process of mastering coaching. Do you know that has taken me into places I never imagined before? I didn't even have the goal of meeting a U.S. president. Now it's been 2. I didn't even have the goal of being interviewed by Oprah. I didn't even have the goal of doing what I'm doing with you right now. I didn't have the goal of reaching millions of people on the internet. I didn't even know to have those because those were so not realistic in any way. Instead, those things became a benefit of a choice to double down on passion or process. Next up, once you know what your passion or the process is you're trying to develop, trying to get better at, trying to create, trying to build, trying to grow, then it's important to develop two things. One, a weekly or monthly rhythm where you just do that a lot. And two, DPA. You've heard me saying this phrase all year, I hope. DPA, daily prioritized action. Daily prioritized action towards a big dream is way more important. Daily prioritized action. Prioritized assumes that you've got a list of choices and interests and opportunities you could go after, but no, this is the one. This is the one. We're going to double down. Remember this passion, this process. Let's get momentum to this today. Daily prioritized action, plus a weekly or monthly rhythm to check in, to stay on track, to do the thing. That matters. You want to achieve something remarkable and go beyond realistic goals? Get mentors. Welcome to Growth Day. Thank you for being in here, learning from me and Ed Milet and Mel Robbins, Jamie Kern-Lena and Trent Shelton, Anthony Trucks and Lori Harder, Natalie Ellis, Lisa Bilyeu. OMG times 10. You've got every teacher in Growth Day is a multimillionaire. Has that ever landed? That's amazing. These aren't normal people. These are extraordinary people. Get around mentors, just like you have in Growth Day, in your real life, in your local neighborhood. Do you know the wealthiest people in your town? You ever had dinner with them? Why not? They're too fancy for you? You feel like you won't know which fork to use? That's me. I still don't know. Don't worry. I still don't figure out the fork. Half the time I eat with my fingers. I'm disgusting. What's wrong with me? Okay, mentors. Find them. Get around people who inspire and lift you up, who can tease and play and support you. There's real experts in this world in every topic you ever want to go in. The reason I never needed realistic goals is because I had awesome mentors. Awesome mentor doesn't want me to be realistic. Awesome mentor would says, stretch, kid, stretch. Last big idea to break you free from that realistic goal thinking. Could you just get around an awesome peer group? Get around motivated people. Get around people striving and building and earning. Get around people who are healthy and abundant. Get around people who cheer you on. Come out to a Growth Day event. Go to growthday.com/LA. Join us one time. I want you to realize there's a great group of people who want to cheer you on, dance with you, celebrate you, hear from you, know what your goals are and help you over your obstacles. Whether it's us or, hey, go back to church. Go back to volunteering. Go back to that community. Or do it for the first time. Network around amazing people. Our conferences or someone else's conferences or other corporate conferences. Go get around people striving and building. Watch what happens. Your mind expands. You know, often when we're in our own little world, in our own little silo, it's easy to have big dreams, but make lots of excuses that drop us down back into realistic expectations and goals. Hey, I know lots of people can say, well, Brendan, you should teach people to be realistic. And I say, why? Well, Brendan, because they might get their feelings hurt. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'd rather them get their feelings hurt and try something awesome than live below their potential and have regret. How about you? How about you choose? What's your choice? You should see what people say. You should see their face when I tell them that. You're telling me you want me to spread the message of realistic goals. No, I think enough people share that and peddle that. No, I want to talk about ambition and dreams and futures. I want to be part of a group of people who do change the world, who do make positive impact, who do move the needle forward. And that means changing things up. That means striving for things we don't know how to do. Almost every great result in my life was me working hard, doubling down on a passion or process, and being a little bit of a hot mess over a period of time. And the end result looks so amazing. Wow, what a visionary. Well, really, I just did something long enough that the results got way beyond what was realistic for where I began. I'm cheering you on today. Maybe you don't have a choice like this. Maybe you don't have a voice like this, but I'm trying to be your high performance coach. There's a reason you join Growth Day, to hear things like this. I will not placate you. I will not suggest you play small. I will tell you, hey, guess what? You're going to have to summon your best in life. Hey, guess what? You're going to have lots of days of disappointment if you don't learn to teach yourself not to be disappointed. Instead, be committed. I'm so committed, I'm not disappointed. I'm not scared of the negative feelings that come up with me not achieving a realistic goal. I'd rather aim for the stars. I'd rather aim for Mars. I'd rather aim for the big things in life because that develops competency and capability beyond where I'm at today. Isn't that the thing? To develop beyond where we're at today? Isn't that why you joined Growth Day? Isn't that why we say every day is a great day to grow? Because we can grow beyond where we're at today. Woo! I'm hyped up. I went for that run. I'm feeling the energy today. This is part of a healthy community, dreaming big and thinking big. Maybe I'm talking a little too fast today. I did go out for a jog before this one. I'm a little fired up. We'll have to put this in the best of category of daily fires. I hope it got you thinking today. Remember, dream. Stretch yourself. Believe, go for it. Double down on those passions and that process. Develop your rhythm. Stick to it with daily prioritized action. Get those mentors, get those community, get those days of momentum in building your future. Please believe in it. You can go beyond what is possible today. You can stretch. You can achieve something amazing. That's why you're part of Growth Day. That's why you're here. That's why you believe that every day is a great day to grow.